So, we're going to look at lesson A3, example 6. What is the quotient of x to the 5th minus 1 divided by x minus 1? So, we're going to set this up right here where it's x to the 5th plus 0x to the 4th plus 0x to the 3rd plus 0x to the 2nd plus 0x plus, minus 1. Right? All of these are omitted. We don't write them, but they're there if we wanted to think about it that way. And it's being all divided by x minus 1. The number of rows. Right, we're going to use the reverse table method. The reverse table method. So we need to figure out the number of rows and the number of columns. So how many rows are there going to be? Is going to be one more than the degree of the divisor. So one more than 1. So 1 more than 1 is 2. Go back to a previous video to see why, or to learn the rule. But the number of rows is 1 more than the divisor, the degree of the divisor. The number of columns is the difference between degrees. So 5 minus 1, because it's to the 5th, minus 1, and then it's going to be 1 more than that. So that's 4, but it's 1 more than that. So there'll be 5 total columns. So we're going to set up a table where we have 2 rows and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. Now, you have to see the diagonals here. That out of each diagonal, we'll get some colors out. Right? Out of these boxes here, and out of these boxes here, this has to be 0x to the 4th. Meaning when you add this box and this box together, they're going to be 0. This one's going to be 0. This one's going to be 0, right? 0x cubed, 0x squared. This one is going to be 0x. And then this one is going to be -1. Right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms. Right? We have 6 terms here, Emerson, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 6 basically diagonals where those like terms are going to be grouped. And so we know that this is a -1. We know that this is going to be x to the 5th. Why do we know that? They're the only, right? They're the only ones in their diagonal. They're the only ones in their diagonal here. Right, we have these 2, we have these 2, and those 2. And so now all we have to do is ask ourselves, x to the 5th divided by x. And what do we get? We get x to the 4th. And so this is key right here. If this is x to the 4th, then this is going to be -1 x to the fourth. And like we said, these two boxes here, this box here and this box here, have to add to 0x to the fourth. This must mean that this is x to the fourth, right? 1x to the fourth minus 1x to the fourth is 0. X to the fourth, you get x, now we divide here. X to the fourth divided by x, because we're trying to figure out what times x gets us x to the fourth, and it would be x cubed. And now the pattern happens again. This is negative x cubed, means this has to be x cubed, because these two have to cancel out. Well, they do. That makes this x squared. That makes this negative x squared. You can start to see the pattern. If this is negative x squared, this has to be x squared because they're going to cancel out. That makes x squared divided by x just x. That makes this negative x. That's x. And then we can check our work here. Negative 1 times what is negative 1? 1. 1 times x is x. And so now we have found our answer. The answer is right there. Right? That's our quotient. And that's the reverse table method.